I want to put this to rest. The left put this out there when the story broke that you were, some kind of hacker, living in the proverbial basement. Set the record straight for us. You've owned this shop for more than 25 years. You've been working on Mac computers for a long, long time. You were hired by Hunter Biden to recover data that was on this laptop. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So take us through what it was like when you were there that day and he walked in. I know that you're legally blind and that you use visual aids. When did you realize that it was Hunter Biden that was standing in front of you in your shop?
During the check-in procedure, it's customary for me to ask for the first name, the last name, collect an email address and a phone number. When I got to the customer's last name, there was a pause, and he seemed surprised that I did not recognize him.
And you noticed a sticker on one of the laptops from Hunter's brother, is that correct? And you're in Wilmington, so the Biden family, they loom large in that area. So you were able to sort of connect the dots, is that accurate?
Rather quickly. One of the three machines that was brought to me did have a sticker on the lid of it over the Apple that was from the Beau Biden Foundation. Until the customer told me who he was, I really didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after the process of checking in, transferring the data, then I definitely realized who it was.
How difficult was it for you to find, these videos and these emails and text messages on his laptop?
Well, the process that I was hired to perform was a data recovery, and the machine was not stable. So in the process of transferring the data, it's a good idea to verify the data, that the data transferred correctly, so that you can call the customer and get paid for it. So that process, you have to review data. In that process, that's when I saw some things that were questionable.
John Paul, what'd you see on the laptop that was so alarming?
I mean, initially it was things of a personal nature. I don't feel comfortable about going into it. Obviously things got more of a concern when a couple weeks later, his father announced his candidacy. So that became a concern of mine.
I appreciate your candor, and I understand your hesitancy. The videos, some of them are out there now. Some of the pictures, especially the self-taken photos of the president-elect's son, Hunter Biden, having sex, doing what appear to be drugs, smoking crack. There's a 12-minute video that's fairly disgusting to watch. So you have this information. Nobody's come back to retrieve this laptop. Nobody's paid you for this service. Now you've got the laptop of somebody who's the son of somebody who's running for president. How concerned were you that you needed to get this laptop into the right hands, or at least just out of your shop? Take us through that.
Well, as the summer progressed, I started to recognize names and events and situations in the media that corresponded with some of the data that I had seen on the computer, and I had gotten pretty concerned, and I felt like there might be criminal material here that needed to be put in the hands of the authorities, and so that was what we did.
I know your dad was in the military for right around 30 years. I think he was a colonel. You initially contacted your dad and asked him to sort of help you contact the FBI through the proper channels in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Was that successful? Did they take you seriously?
At first, no. My father approached the FBI in Albuquerque, and they told him to get out of their office and to lawyer up. And so my father and I were both pretty kind of felt a little put down, and it took about a month for the FBI to reach back out to my father to get in contact with me. One of the FBI agents actually told me that if somebody ever came looking for the device, that I was to stall him, and the agent was actually very specific onto the method of stalling him and buying them 24 hours for them to return the equipment so that I could return it to the customer, which seemed odd to me at the time.
So let's fast forward now. Let's fast forward to October 14th, 2020, when the New York Post dropped their initial story. That story and the videos in that story were suppressed by Twitter. They claimed that they were the result of hacking. I think we should finally be perfectly clear about this because now it has been totally confirmed. U.S. intelligence agencies have confirmed the laptop was not Russian disinformation, and federal authorities have confirmed they took that laptop from you in 2019. So this laptop is legit. What is on it is legit. That has been verified, and Hunter Biden is now under investigation. Why didn't you just take this to the local media or even the Wilmington Police Department, something like that?
I felt that the data that I had seen needed to be in the hands of the authorities, and I thought that going through the FBI and the Justice Department was the proper way.
Were you surprised that nobody had come to retrieve this thing with so much private, personal, possibly very clearly damaging information on it?
I was disappointed that people were not choosing to listen. I think it's a combination of a country that's so paranoid of being fed misinformation all the time that it was probably hard for people to take it seriously, especially in the climate with other things going on in the world.
How did this impact your life, having history thrust onto you, and you were just doing what you do every single day, what you've done for 25 years? What has this done to your life over the last several months, really year and a half?
Oh, I mean, there's been several times where I thought this nightmare was over, and to turn around and just discover it to get deeper and deeper. The Russian and the hacking labeling has definitely had a negative impact on my character, and my business is destroyed. It's hard in my industry to come back from getting that kind of label.
Since this all started April 2019, you've wanted to sort of get this process, complete the transaction with your client first, and then now that it went on and on, get this thing out of your life. Where are you now with that?
Well, I mean, I think one day I'll be able to look back on this, and hopefully I'll be able to see that justice was served and the truth got out there. It's tough. It is tough. I've lost a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of good friends, and yeah.
Do you think that this story was deliberately suppressed by some of the left-leaning media before the election to not hurt Joe Biden's chances of winning the election?
I mean, I don't know. I can't read into the minds of who controls the media. It was never my intention to change anything. I wanted the truth to be out there. I wanted my story to be told, and I wanted to have some level of protection.
Yeah, yeah. You have a lawsuit with Twitter right now claiming the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop articles falsely branded the shop owner, you, John Paul MacIsaac, as a hacker. Twitter claimed that all the videos involving Hunter Biden violated the company's hacking policy. Where are you with that lawsuit right now? And how has Twitter impacted your life?
Well, obviously, being labeled a hacker is a death sentence in my industry, so that hasn't helped at all. Also, I think that it's hard to get the truth out when the truth is being filtered, and that hasn't helped my credibility if people only hear one side of the story. So I leave it up to my attorney to answer any additional questions when it comes to the lawsuit. I'm good at fixing Max, and he's good at the legal stuff.
And we hope you can get back to that very soon, sir. That is John Paul MacIsaac. John Paul, thanks so much for your time and telling your story. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.